first thing first, we're gonna measure how long of a wire we need to hook up the electricity all the way from the front footwell light to here. Go all the way to the front, see, there's the head of it, and it comes out to be about 5 feet. After you got the measurement of the wire, you're gonna go up front here, and this is the passenger seat, the passenger footwell light. Since mine is a right-hand drive car, but it doesn't really matter as long as you're under footwell. It works about the same on both sides, the passenger and the driver's side. So what you do is, well, mine's white by the way, mine's already LED. I switched it earlier, but yours should be a halogen in here if you're stock. But yeah, so go behind it, this little right here, you should be able to push it up. And once you push it up, you can put your finger in there and push this light out from behind. There we go. And just unplug it. I got the front footwell light here. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna hook up 2 wires here. That's gonna stretch out for about 6 feet, going under my carpet, so I could stick the LED onto the bottom of my front chairs. I'm gonna take this apart first, and this is how you take it apart. It's pretty easy. You can get anything flat, like a flat screwdriver here, and pry each corner open. There should be a, hold up, sorry, it's out of focus. Alright, there we go. There should be 4 tabs here. 1, 2, the other side, 3 and 4. Just make sure they're all off. You see, a cutter works too. Box cutter's thinner, so. There we go. So it's off. Yeah, this there should be a halogen bulb in here, but I sort of fiddle around with it, and it's now a LED. So now we're gonna solder the wire right here and here. So what I'm using as the for the 6 feet long wire is pretty much a wire from this wire here, from a really old transformer I have just laying around, and it doesn't really matter. It should this wire can easily handle the current going through the wire, because we're gonna use the strip of LED here, and I'm only gonna use this much, 3 of them, this much. So it's only gonna pull very little current, so it doesn't really matter if yeah, so it should, this wire, this thin wire should be okay, especially where I can see is the here, let me focus. Yeah, the transformer itself runs 12 volt, which is perfect. That's exactly what I'm using, and it pulls about 1/2 amp. And I'm sure that LED is not going to pull anywhere near that, so this should be safe. There we go. And chuck this away. Like this, and then just solder them onto here. So there. But there is a problem because the cover is made of metal. So in case if I close it in like this, the metal might touches these 2 points and cause a short circuit. So what I'm gonna do is flatten it a little bit with the, I don't know, anything you can use. I'm using my screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver. Flatten everything out. Cut out the excess bit of wires here, just to be on the safe side. I'm very anal about these kind of little things, so excuse me if I'm taking too long. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some electrical tape, some good old electrical tape. Figure out where the metal part's gonna land approximately, so it's just pretty much the end of it. So what I'm gonna do is just simply do this and stick it on. Stick it onto the casing. Let's do an extra layer of electrical tape. This goes to here. There you go. 2 layer of electrical tape should be enough. More than enough. And now I'm gonna cut out the bit of electrical tape that's blocking the hole, the clip. See? That's it. And you just clip it back in, but I'm not going to do that right now because I might need to use these parts to test out the lighting later. Now what we do is go to the other end of the wire. And then, I don't need this obviously, chop it off, chuck it away. The exact same thing. Now I'm gonna get my LED strip. So this is the LED I'm gonna use for the rear seats footwell light. Let's see. I'm gonna use this strip over here. But before you're wiring it up, you gotta make sure you got the polarity right, or it's not gonna work. So how I'm gonna do this is, I got a 12-volt source in my room. Have a look here, this thing over here. Should definitely get one of these if it doesn't cost too much. Nope, the other way around. See, yep, it's working now. And what I gotta do is get the other end of the wire here, which is hot right now because the other end is hooked up to the electricity. Make this go up. Oh, yep. So now I know which one, so I have to solder it this way now. What I usually do is just get a little Sharpie or these oil-based marker. Just put a little mark here. Green on this wire and green on this side. Just to make sure I don't solder it the wrong way. Alright, so I got all hooked up here now. It's there. And let me do a dry run. Ah, there you go. See? Now the front footwell light's on as well as the rear one. Up till now, it's actually good enough for you to do both side of the car. So you can take, so let's say this is the car, this is the front, this is the back, and the 4 seats here. And right now I took this footwell light out. I wired it up to this rear footwell light, and I just showed you all the wiring. I'm going to show you how to put it into the car later as well. But later, so what you could do is you can do this once, and then do it again. Do it again here. Exact same thing using just removing this footwell light. But the thing is, my right front footwell light is actually wired up to something else, so it's not very easy for me to remove. So instead of using this, I'm going to bridge it around here. So I'm gonna have so I'm just gonna pretty much extend the wiring from here to here to here, and so I won't have this wire here. But personally, if I could have removed this, I would have done this. I would have just done both of them like this, just easier, because the wire here is hard to hide the wire here. So this is this one. Now I'm gonna wire this part up. So same thing. I got another piece of wire here, and solder it up. All right, nice and tight. Oh, and before we get any further, get some heat shrink wrap. And this is just me personally. I like to heat shrink wrap every exposed contact points like these. Went ahead and soldered the second LED on, and so this is the result. This is the left front footwell light. Wired it up to, this is the left rear footwell light, and all the way up here, this is the last one, the rear right footwell light. And let me put the heat shrink on, and I'll go downstairs and show you how to put it on. Oh, also, just make sure you remember when you solder the third one, you still have to make sure the polarity is right. So we're back at my car, and here's all the wirings. So before we install this back in, let's make sure the light works. So let me plug it back in first. Yep, unplug it first. Now what we gotta do is remove this carpet. There's a lot of ways you can do this. The easiest way is obviously just tuck in the wire all along here and slip it in and tape it up. But I want to make it a little bit. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I guess, or I'm just anal about these kind of things. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna wire it through in here, and it'll go into the carpet, like below this carpet, and it'll come back out over there. So first of all, you remove this cover. By the way, you should get these. It comes in a set. There's a couple more. They can get it for really cheap on eBay. It's definitely a good investment if you don't want to scratch up your panels and stuff. And then now you got that removed, you gotta remove this. It's really easy. Literally just pull and it comes right off. Yeah, for this part you have to push it this way. Pull it out this way. Yep. You have to be a little, ow, my finger. You gotta be a little bit more forceful. And make sure this part you have to push it off this way or it'll break. It might break, I mean. There. See? It's exposed now. You can stick this wire in here. Yeah, you see these are the other wirings I did for, well, other mods. So yeah, just tuck it all the way in. Yeah, see my hand going through in there. I hooked up the light so I get so it's a little brighter in here, so it's easy to work with. So pretty much I put the wire through in here. Went in. This is a Bluetooth module, so there should be a little slit right here for you to pull out the wire originally made for the Bluetooth. But yeah, oh, and push the seat all the way back. It's so much better. So yeah, just keep pulling it out. And now you got this going on. Put it all the way through these bunch of wires. So here I took the carpet out as well and pushed the seat all the way back up forth. I'm in the back seat right now, by the way. And pull the wire out. There we go. This is our first rear seat light. Rear seat Footwell light. And there's my rear seat Footwell light. I'm gonna tuck in the wire a little bit more. If you're doing the wiring where you take the Footwell light out there in the front and then wire here, and then you take that one out and then wire it all the way here, then you just do this twice, here and here. But since I'm not doing it, I'm actually gonna bridge this over this thing and go over here. So I'm gonna show you how to do this right now. So, oh, light turned off. So tuck it in here. Leave a little plate, a little slack here, so in case the chair moves back and forth, it won't pull on the wire too hard. So tuck it all the way under, tuck it under the rail, and then push it up here. So here, it's all tucked in. I just gotta stick this up here. So I've got all three of the lights installed. Oh, I haven't turned it on yet. But before we go any further, I have one little thing I gotta tell you guys. Make sure the wire the wire that you that I soldered here goes through the hole. You know, if you forgot to do that, you will not be able to put this back in because it's gonna clamp on the wire. So I got it. You know, it's easy. You can just actually can actually put this through the hole from the back, from here on the back, put it through back up front here, and wire it up. There we go. Perfect. Now just put everything back in. So I've got everything hooked up. So this is the front one, the original one I've had, and there's my rear lights. I'm gonna see, you can still see a wire dangling. I'm gonna get some zip tie and zip them up, whatever.